Marcus walked carefully across the reddish sand, his boots sinking slightly with each step. The sun hung low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the barren landscape. The air was thin, dry, and cold, unlike the air he had breathed on Earth. This planet, Arvessa 9, was supposed to be uninhabited, a remote outpost for humans to mine rare crystals and study alien terrain. But Marcus had the strange feeling that today, the planet had something waiting for him, something extraordinary. He adjusted his backpack, feeling the weight of his tools and scanning equipment. Marcus had always been a careful man. Where others rushed into unknown lands, he studied, observed, and prepared. And yet, no amount of preparation could have readied him for what he was about to discover. His eyes caught a soft glow ahead, flickering like a small star trapped in the sand. Curious, he quickened his pace. As he drew closer, he realized it was no ordinary crystal deposit. The glow pulsed with a strange rhythm, almost as if it were alive. It radiated warmth and energy, and Marcus could feel it tugging at his mind, inviting him forward. He knelt beside the glowing object, brushing sand away with gloved hands. The artifact was smooth, metallic, and oddly warm to touch. Symbols he did not recognize glimmered across its surface, shifting slightly as he stared at them. Marcus had studied alien technology before, but this was unlike anything he had seen. It seemed to hum, not just with energy, but with intelligence. "Hello," he said cautiously. "Is anyone there?" His voice sounded small in the emptiness of the desert, yet the artifact responded in a way no ordinary object could. The symbols shifted, and a wave of light rose from it, enveloping Marcus in a soft, blinding glow. He stumbled backward, shielding his eyes. When the light faded, he gasped, staring at the figure that stood before him. She was unlike any being he had ever seen, tall, radiant, and ethereal. She seemed to shimmer as if made of living starlight. Her hair flowed like liquid silver, and her eyes glowed with wisdom and power that stretched across eons. Marcus instinctively took a step back, yet something about her presence did not inspire fear. Instead, he felt curiosity. "I am Thalira," she said, her voice a melody that resonated deep within him. "I am the guardian of this artifact, and I have been waiting for one, like you." Marcus blinked, trying to comprehend. "You wait for me?" Thalira nodded, her form radiating light that seemed both beautiful and overwhelming. "I offer you 3 wishes, human. 3 choices that can alter reality itself. Choose carefully, for your desires will shape worlds, not just your own life." He had read myths and legends about alien gods and goddesses, about beings who could manipulate matter, energy, and even time. He had never expected to meet one, especially not in the sands of an uncharted planet. I need to understand first," Marcus said slowly. "Why me? Why now?" Thalira's eyes softened slightly. "Your species fascinates me. You are fragile, yet resilient. Short-lived, yet capable of great endurance. Limited in your knowledge, yet inventive beyond measure. You possess a spark that others do not. I have observed your kind for centuries, and you are different." Marcus felt a mix of awe and disbelief. "So, what happens if I accept?" "You may make 3 wishes," Thalira said, her voice calm yet powerful. "Each wish will come true, but know this, I expect honesty and clarity. Hesitation or deceit may have consequences beyond your imagination." Marcus considered this. He thought of the wars on Earth, of hunger, disease, and the endless conflicts between nations. He thought of the human colonies across the stars, struggling to survive in harsh environments. And then he thought of himself, not as a hero, not as someone grand, but as a simple engineer, a man who had learned that the smallest choices could have the greatest impact. "I understand," he said finally, "but I want to make sure I do this right." Thalira inclined her head. "I will guide you only in understanding. The choices themselves are yours." For a long moment, Marcus looked at her, studying the patterns in her glowing form, the way her eyes seemed to see not just him, but through him, and perhaps even through all of humanity. Then slowly he spoke. "Before I make a wish, I need to understand what is possible. Can you show me?" Thalira raised her hand, and the sands around them lifted, spinning into a swirling vision of the universe. Marcus saw stars being born and dying, civilizations rising and falling, entire planets teeming with life. He saw power being wielded and misused, and yet he also saw small acts of courage, kindness, that changed everything. "You see, Marcus," Thalira said, "power is not always measured by destruction or control. Even the smallest action can ripple through time and space, altering the future in ways beyond comprehension. Your species has this power. I have witnessed it. But you may shape it consciously." Marcus swallowed, feeling the weight of her words. "So, my wish doesn't have to be for wealth or strength?" "Not at all," Thalira said. "The greatest wishes often are not what one expects. They are rooted in understanding, creativity, and wisdom." He nodded slowly. In his mind, he pictured Earth, with its conflicts and divisions. He thought of humans struggling to communicate, to understand one another across borders, across languages, across cultures. He thought of the colonies on distant planets, isolated and alone, sometimes fighting amongst themselves for survival. And suddenly, a thought struck him. A simple, clear idea that seemed both impossible and perfect. But he did not speak immediately. Instead, he studied Thalira carefully. She had seen countless civilizations, wielded unimaginable power, and yet she waited. She was curious, even cautious. Finally, Marcus spoke, his voice calm but steady. "I wish that humans everywhere could understand each other, no matter the language or culture, that we could truly communicate, for real, across the stars and across the earth." Thalira's glow shifted. Her eyes widened in shock. She stepped back slightly, her hand hovering near the artifact, as if she needed to recalibrate her understanding. Marcus watched her carefully, sensing her surprise, but not fear. "You wish for empathy, for understanding?" she whispered, almost in disbelief. This is unexpected. I have seen mortals wish for power, wealth, immortality. You wish for connection." Marcus nodded. "I think if humans could understand each other, maybe we wouldn't destroy ourselves. Maybe we could survive, even thrive. Maybe we could learn from each other instead of fighting." Thalira's expression softened, but her voice trembled with awe. I did not expect this. You are different, Marcus." "I am stunned." Marcus tilted his head. "You're stunned? Why?" "Because," she said, taking a deep breath, "I have seen mortals with ambition, with greed, with fear, but never one who sees the strength in unity rather than domination."
You have chosen
Something beyond power, something human, yet extraordinary. The artifact pulsed, responding to the wish. Across Earth and the human colonies, a strange wave of understanding rippled through minds. People suddenly heard words, not as sounds, but as meaning. Misunderstandings faded, conflicts paused, ideas flowed freely, and cooperation blossomed in ways no one had imagined. Marcus felt a warm sensation, a kind of quiet satisfaction. "So, it worked?" he asked, a small smile forming. "It worked," Thalira confirmed. And yet, I cannot fully comprehend it. The simplicity, the clarity. It is beautiful. I have underestimated your kind. Marcus shrugged modestly. I just thought it would help. Humans, we don't always think big in the right way. Sometimes, the simplest thing can make the biggest difference. Thalira stepped closer, studying him. You are remarkable. I have seen civilizations rise and fall. I have witnessed gods make choices. And yet, here you stand, a mortal, and your wish has altered the course of humanity itself. I must learn from this. I must understand your mind, Marcus chuckled softly. I'm just a man. You're the goddess. And yet, Thalira said, her eyes gleaming, your first wish has stunned me completely. It is rare that a being so small in size, so fragile in lifespan, can hold such vision. I will remember this, Marcus, and you still have 2 wishes remaining. Choose wisely, for the universe watches, and not all beings will react kindly to what you have set in motion. Marcus nodded, his mind already racing. The universe was vast, full of threats and mysteries, but for the first time he felt a flicker of hope, a hope that humans could survive, could grow, and could perhaps even thrive in ways no one had imagined. And somewhere deep in his chest, a quiet pride swelled. Not because he had power, but because he had chosen wisely, and the world, no, the cosmos, would feel the first ripple of what humans were capable of. Thalira watched him silently, still stunned, still fascinated. She had granted wishes to kings, emperors, even rulers of entire galaxies, but never had she met a mortal who wished first for understanding, for empathy, for connection. Never had she felt the spark of true admiration for humanity, until now. And so the first wish settled across the universe like a gentle wave, invisible yet undeniable. Marcus took a deep breath, knowing that the path ahead would be filled with challenges, with choices that could shape life and civilizations. But for now, he smiled at the thought that humans could finally understand each other. For the first time, the galaxy was watching, and a goddess was humbled by the vision of one man. The wave of understanding spread like sunlight breaking through clouds, reaching every human mind on Earth and across the colonies. People who had argued for decades suddenly understood each other. Scientific teams that had been divided by politics now collaborated with ease. Artists shared visions without barriers. Soldiers hesitated in battle as their enemies' intentions became clear to them. Everywhere, humans paused and listened, finally hearing one another. Marcus watched this quietly from the desert of Arvessa. 9. He could feel the pulse of the wish, a gentle hum in his chest, as though the universe itself had responded. But as awe-inspiring as it was, he knew this was only the beginning. Understanding alone would not protect humanity from the dangers lurking in the stars. Thalira floated near him, her luminous form flickering with curiosity and something almost like admiration. You have done something remarkable, Marcus, she said. I have witnessed civilizations tear themselves apart. Leaders wield unimaginable power, yet your choice has caused more progress than any of them could. You truly see the potential of your kind. Marcus shook his head. I just want humans to survive, to grow, to actually work together for a change. Thalira studied him, her eyes narrowing thoughtfully. And yet there are forces beyond your understanding that will test this potential. You have made humanity stronger in one sense, but the cosmos is not kind. Other species, more advanced, more powerful, will notice this change. Some will envy it. Some will see it as a threat. Marcus's brow furrowed. So, what happens next? You must prepare, Thalira said. You still have 2 wishes. The first has opened doors, but it has also drawn attention. You cannot rely on understanding alone. You must be ready for challenges, that will not yield to kindness or communication. He considered this carefully. He had studied alien civilizations, their wars and alliances, through books and transmissions, but nothing could truly prepare him for what might come. Yet Marcus was not afraid. He had learned to think clearly under pressure, to adapt, to solve problems logically, that had kept him alive on distant planets more than once. And now he had a power no human had ever had before. After a moment of thought, he spoke. Then my second wish. I want humans to be resilient, not invincible, not unbeatable, but able to survive anything the universe throws at them. I want them to adapt, to overcome, to keep going, even in the hardest situations. Thalira's glow shifted, brighter, and then softened again. Resilience. You seek to strengthen not the body, nor to grant weapons, but the mind and spirit.
You wish for humans to endure? This is
uncommon. Marcus nodded. I think if humans can survive, if we can adapt, then maybe one day we can face the stars without destroying ourselves or others. Understanding was the first step, but resilience is what will let us last. The artifact pulsed again, resonating with the power of the wish. Across human colonies and Earth alike, people began to change. Not physically, not in ways obvious to the eye, but internally. Individuals who had given up on survival suddenly found courage. Communities facing famine or disaster discovered creative solutions. Scientists found breakthroughs when they were at their lowest. The change was subtle, but undeniable. A quiet, persistent strength growing in every human mind. Thalira observed silently, clearly impressed. I have seen immortals grant power, manipulate galaxies, reshape reality, she murmured. Yet here you stand, a mortal, and you choose to strengthen a species through understanding and resilience rather than force. It humbles me. Marcus smiled faintly. Sometimes the biggest strength isn't in fighting or dominating. It's in surviving and learning, in being willing to change. Suddenly, a ripple of alertness passed through Thalira. Her glowing eyes sharpened as she scanned the skies. Marcus followed her gaze and saw tiny flashes in the distance, ships moving fast, far beyond human technology. They have noticed? Thalira said quietly. A fleet? Aliens from a civilization far older than humanity are heading here. They perceive the change in your species. They will not understand it as growth. They will see it as a threat. Marcus's stomach tightened, but he kept his composure. So they might attack? Possibly, Thalira said. Some will study, some will attempt to dominate, some will try to destroy. Your people are still vulnerable. Your second wish will help them survive, but it will not grant victory over beings far stronger than humans. That will require cleverness, strategy, and ingenuity. Then we'll make a plan. Humans are good at surviving. And now we can survive even better. Thalira watched him with quiet fascination. You truly embody what it means to be human. Your first wish stunned me. Your second strengthens my respect. You see not what is powerful, but what is necessary. You do not seek dominance. You seek endurance. You are remarkable. In the following days, Marcus worked with Thalira to observe the incoming fleet. Using the universal understanding granted by his first wish, humans across colonies communicated like never before. Scientists pooled knowledge, engineers shared designs, soldiers coordinated strategies. Humanity began to prepare, not out of fear, but with clarity and purpose. As the alien ships approached, Marcus led meetings through secure communication channels, guiding the humans strategically. He encouraged them to innovate, to adapt quickly, to anticipate moves rather than react. He was not a general nor a commander, But humans now possessed the tools of understanding and resilience, and he knew how to help them use those tools wisely. Thalira followed, silently observing his methods. She had expected humans to panic, to squabble, to falter. Instead, they acted with coordination, logic, and ingenuity. The resilience he had wished for was visible in every mind, every decision, every act of cooperation. The alien fleet, with technology centuries ahead of humanity, would soon witness something they could not anticipate. But even with preparation, Marcus knew the challenge would be immense. These were beings accustomed to seeing weaker civilizations crushed. They would not underestimate humans easily. Yet he felt a quiet confidence. Humans had been underestimated before, and time again, they had adapted, survived, and thrived against impossible odds. Now they were stronger than ever, not through brute force, but through connection and perseverance. As night fell over Arvessa, Marcus stood outside the outpost, gazing at the stars. The alien ships were dots on the horizon, distant, yet ominous. He felt Thalira's presence beside him, her light soft and steady. "Are you afraid?" she asked. Marcus shook his head. "No. Humans have survived worse than this. And now, we have something even stronger than before. We understand each other, and we can endure."
That's more than enough to face what's coming.
Thalira's glow dimmed slightly, as if impressed by his courage. "You have granted humans a gift beyond my expectation. You have changed the course of your species. I have not witnessed a mortal with such foresight." Marcus smiled faintly.
It's not about me. It's about all of us.
Humans have the potential to survive, to grow, to reach the stars without destroying ourselves. I just hope we get the chance to prove it. For the next few hours, Marcus and Thalira monitored the incoming fleet. Communications between human colonies buzzed with activity. Engineers designed adaptive defenses. Scientists predicted alien strategies. Communities organized for potential evacuation if necessary. The universe seemed to pause, watching humanity in motion, when dawn finally broke over the red sands of Arvessa. 9. Marcus took a deep breath. The alien fleet was closer now, shimmering against the morning sky. The humans were ready, not because they had weapons or invincible power, but because they had connection, intelligence, and resilience, qualities that no alien could fully predict. Thalira floated beside him, her voice quiet. "Your second wish. It has given humanity a chance. But the true test is coming.
The fleet approaches, and I
am eager to see how they respond. You have taught me that humans are unpredictable." "That is fascinating." Marcus nodded. "Unpredictable can be good. It keeps us alive." The first glint of alien ships reflected in the morning sun, massive and formidable, yet unaware of the unity they were about to face. Marcus's heart beat steadily, calm yet determined. He knew that humanity's strength was no longer measured by weapons or size, but by mind, spirit, and will, the very essence of being human. And as the fleet drew closer, he realized that the next choice, the third wish, might determine the fate of the entire species. But for now, humanity was united, resilient, and ready. The first two wishes had reshaped their potential. The final chapter was still unwritten, but Marcus faced it with clarity, courage, and hope. The stars above Arvessa. 9 shimmered as though in anticipation, and somewhere deep in the cosmos, a goddess smiled at the mortal who had humbled her, and perhaps for the first time, taught her the value of being human. The first glint of the alien fleet grew larger in the sky as the hours passed. Their ships, sleek and dark, moved with a precision that betrayed centuries of experience in war. Marcus stood on the edge of the outpost's ridge, his eyes tracing the formation. The humans below were busy at work, erecting barriers, deploying scanning drones, and coordinating communication lines. The atmosphere was tense but controlled. Thalira floated beside him, her glowing form radiating quiet energy.
"They are not like anything your species has encountered before," she said. "They will assume superiority.
They will expect humans to falter. But they underestimate your adaptability, your ingenuity, your unpredictability." Marcus nodded, his hands resting on the railing.
"That's true. Humans aren't perfect. But when we need to survive, we can be clever."
That's why your first two gifts, understanding and resilience, are so important. They give us the tools to outthink, not just fight. Alira's eyes gleamed with fascination. Cleverness can be as dangerous as it is beautiful. They will soon learn this lesson if they survive the encounter. Across the desert plain, the alien ships had slowed, hovering above the horizon. Their presence was intimidating, a shadow that darkened the red sands. Ground sensors picked up energy signatures far beyond human comprehension. Marcus's heart beat faster, but he felt no fear. Instead, he felt focus, clarity, and determination. He turned to Thalira.
"What do you know about them? What are they capable of?"
"They are strategists, not brutes," Thalira replied. "They have conquered worlds without ever needing to enter battle physically. Their strength lies in prediction, calculation, and technology far beyond human understanding. They will strike where they think humans are weak, and they will adapt quickly to resistance." Marcus swallowed. "Then we need to be faster, smarter, and less predictable." "We can't just defend. We have to anticipate, improvise, and survive." Thalira nodded. "Exactly.
"And that is why your species fascinates me. You are unpredictable by nature."
You improvise. You create solutions that defy logic. You survive where others fail. And now, you have understanding and resilience to guide you." The alien fleet began its descent, energy shields glowing as they hovered above the outpost. The humans below scrambled. But there was no panic. Coordination flowed effortlessly. Communications between colonies were instant. Ideas exchanged faster than the aliens could anticipate. Strategies were proposed and implemented without delay. Marcus watched in quiet pride. A human scientist approached him, waving a data pad. "Marcus, we've detected energy readings from the fleet. They're testing our systems, probing for weaknesses. They don't know we can anticipate their moves." Marcus examined the data. "Good. That's what we want. Let them think they understand us. Then we show them they don't." He turned to Thalira. "It's time to see if humans can really live up to their potential." Thalira smiled faintly. "It will be. Enlightening. Perhaps even humbling." The first strike came unexpectedly. A beam of energy arced from one of the alien ships toward the outpost, meant to disable the humans' communication arrays. But the humans had anticipated such a move. The beam struck a decoy, and the real arrays continued to function without interruption. Marcus watched as teams of engineers adjusted shields and rerouted power, their actions fluid and precise. The aliens adjusted immediately, firing another series of beams at different targets. Again, humans were ready. Drones deployed, shields realigned, and the beam was absorbed harmlessly. Marcus realized something remarkable. Humans were not just reacting. They were learning mid-battle, predicting alien adaptations and countering them faster than the aliens expected. Thalira's glow brightened as she observed. "Incredible. They are adapting, improving, evolving. Their minds work together in ways I have rarely seen. The resilience you granted is more than survival. It is evolution in action."
Marcus nodded, keeping his focus. "And understanding gives us an edge. We anticipate each other, coordinate instantly, and share solutions without confusion."
That's what they can't calculate. As the battle continued, Marcus moved through the outpost, giving advice, offering ideas, and observing the humans at work. Soldiers coordinated their movements, engineers repaired damage in record time, and scientists improvised new defenses. It was not brute force that held the line. It was creativity, intelligence, and collaboration. From the sky, one alien ship began to isolate the command center. A direct strike could destroy leadership and end the resistance. Marcus quickly devised a plan. We'll use a decoy, move the command data through secondary arrays, and draw their attention away. Then we strike their sensors, disable their targeting systems, and force them to rethink. Thalira's eyes widened. You are thinking several steps ahead. This is not mere survival. It is strategy, improvisation, and anticipation. Humans truly are remarkable. Which the plan was executed flawlessly. The aliens, expecting simple reaction, were forced to respond to a problem they had not predicted. Their precision was challenged, and they began making errors. Humans capitalized instantly, using ingenuity to counter every move. As the hours passed, Marcus realized something extraordinary. The aliens were not failing because of power or weapons. They were failing because humans had adaptability and collaboration that could not be quantified. The universe had underestimated humanity, and Marcus knew it. Meanwhile, the humans were changing in subtle ways. The first wish for understanding allowed them to anticipate each other's thoughts. Resilience let them endure mistakes and setbacks. Together, these gifts made them formidable in a way the aliens could not comprehend. Thalira hovered above, her eyes studying Marcus. You did not grant them invincibility, and yet they perform as if they were. Their success is not magic. It is human ingenuity, guided by what you have given them. I am stunned once again. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. It's not about me. It's about everyone working together. That's human strength. We survive because we adapt, and we adapt because we cooperate. The alien fleet, realizing its calculations were flawed, tried to regroup. They focused fire on one sector, expecting it to collapse, but humans had anticipated this, setting up a trap. A diversion led the aliens into a canyon filled with reflective energy panels, scattering their beams and causing malfunctions. Drones swooped in, creating interference, and the aliens were forced to retreat temporarily. Marcus felt a surge of pride. This was not luck. This was human ingenuity, human resilience, human understanding, amplified by the gifts he had chosen. Thalira's voice was almost breathless. They are not just surviving. They are overcoming. This is unprecedented. Mortals, you have reshaped what it means to be formidable in the galaxy. Marcus looked out at the horizon, watching the aliens withdraw slightly, recalculating. They'll come back, he said. Stronger, smarter, but we'll be ready. Humans always are. Thalira floated closer, her glow soft and almost warm. You continue to amaze me. Your first two wishes were simple, yet they are proving more powerful than I ever imagined. You have reminded me that true strength is not measured in weapons or size, but in mind, spirit, and unity. You have made a species capable of defying the odds. Marcus nodded. It's not just about surviving. It's about thriving. Humans can do that if we stick together, if we learn from each other, and if we don't give up. That's what I hoped for, and it's happening now. The day turned into night, and the stars above Arvesa, 9 gleamed like distant beacons. The alien fleet hovered beyond the planet's atmosphere, silent for now, regrouping for another attack. Humans were exhausted but unwavering. Engineers repaired damage, soldiers remained vigilant, and scientists continued to innovate, their minds sharper and faster than ever. Marcus sat at a command console, watching humans in motion. He realized that the first two wishes had not just changed humanity, they had elevated it. The first wish allowed them to understand. The second allowed them to endure. Together, these gifts created a force far greater than any weapon could provide. Thalira's presence beside him was quiet but steady. The final wish, It will define how this battle ends and how your species moves forward. You have already altered the course of history, Marcus. The universe will remember these hours. Marcus leaned back, thinking. The final wish was not something to be made lightly. It had to be powerful, clever, and aligned with the greater good. He knew the aliens would return, perhaps with greater force, but he also knew that humans were ready, not through raw strength, but through unity, resilience, and intelligence. A small commotion drew his attention. A young engineer approached, her eyes wide with awe. "Sir, we've disabled one of their main sensors. They can't track us properly now." "It's incredible." Marcus smiled faintly. "Yes, that's humans for you. Unpredictable, adaptable, and unstoppable when we work together." Thalira's glow brightened once more. "You are extraordinary, Marcus."
You have shown me what humans are capable of. I
am learning from you. Perhaps I underestimated mortals for too long." Marcus chuckled softly. "Maybe. But we've never had a choice like this before. Now we're showing the galaxy what humans can really do." The alien fleet hovered in silence, still formidable, still far superior in raw technology. Yet for the first time they were confronted with a species that could adapt faster than they could calculate. Marcus felt a surge of quiet determination. Humans would survive. Humans would thrive. And when the final wish was made, the universe would see just how extraordinary a mortal species could be. As night fully enveloped Arvesa, Marcus stood once more on the ridge, gazing at the alien ships. The first two gifts had been more effective than he could have imagined, yet the final choice loomed ahead. Whatever he decided, it would shape not just the battle, but the destiny of humanity. And in the quiet hum of the desert under the watchful eyes of a goddess, Marcus realized something extraordinary. Humans were no longer just survivors. They were becoming something greater. Something the universe would never forget. The alien fleet had retreated only briefly, and Marcus knew their pause was temporary. The humans had recovered from the initial strikes, but now they faced the real test. The fleet's main attack. Ships larger than city blocks hovered above Arvesa. 9, their hulls gleaming darkly against the red sky. Energy shields flickered, weapons glowed ominously, and Marcus could sense the calculations happening inside the alien minds, trying to anticipate human responses. Thalira floated beside him, her glow steady, but tense. "They are adapting faster now. They will not underestimate you again. This is the true test, Marcus. Your species must now demonstrate ingenuity, coordination, and courage simultaneously." Marcus nodded, his eyes scanning the outpost. Humans moved with precision. Teams coordinated through universal understanding, executing complex strategies without hesitation. Engineers recalibrated defenses on the fly. Soldiers shifted formations seamlessly, and drones darted through the sky to gather information. Marcus felt a surge of pride. This was the culmination of the first two wishes, and the results were beyond what he had imagined. "Prepare the adaptive grids," Marcus instructed. "We'll lure them into the canyon sector. Their sensors will be disrupted by reflections, and the drones will create false targets. Every move they make, we anticipate and counter. The moment they commit to the canyon, we strike their engines and control systems simultaneously." Thalira's eyes sparkled. "You think several steps ahead, Marcus? Humans rarely demonstrate such foresight collectively. This may surprise even the oldest civilizations." The humans executed the plan flawlessly. As the alien fleet advanced, their ships targeted what they believed were the main command centers. Beams of energy struck decoys and harmless drones, causing minimal damage. Humans remained unflustered, adjusting defenses instantly and exploiting every weakness in the aliens' assumptions. Marcus watched the battlefield unfold like a chess game, every human acting as a vital piece. The canyon sector glimmered in the sunlight, a trap ready to ensnare the unsuspecting fleet. When the first alien ships entered, the reflective grids scattered their beams, causing confusion among the attackers. Drones swarmed, creating interference that further blinded their sensors. The aliens tried to adapt, but Marcus had anticipated that too. Secondary energy pulses disabled some of their targeting systems, forcing the ships into erratic movement. Engineers in the human outpost recalculated the optimal countermeasures, deploying them instantly. The Lyra hovered above, her expression one of astonishment. They are not just surviving, they are dominating the engagement without using brute force. Their strength lies in intelligence and unity. Marcus, I am amazed. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. It's not just me. It's every human here. We adapt, we communicate, and we endure. That's our true power. The alien fleet, realizing the canyon was a trap, attempted to retreat, but Marcus had anticipated this. Using subtle gravitational manipulation devices, adapted by human scientists, they slowed the retreat, forcing the ships to maneuver carefully. Meanwhile, drones hacked communication frequencies, feeding false information and causing internal confusion. One by one, alien ships found themselves immobilized or misaligned. Energy beams collided with shields in chaotic bursts, while humans exploited the disruptions to disable engines and systems. Soldiers moved with incredible precision, not recklessly, but strategically, knowing exactly how to react in synchronization. Thalira's voice trembled with admiration. They are unstoppable in their ingenuity. Humans have never shown this level of coordination. I am learning from them. Marcus glanced at her. You're learning? From us? She nodded. Yes. Even a being who has existed for millennia and gain insight from mortals. Your first two wishes revealed qualities I never fully appreciated: creativity, resilience, and adaptability. I underestimated your kind. The battle raged through the day and into the evening. Alien ships attempted new tactics, flanking maneuvers, concentrated fire, and complex energy surges, but humans adapted instantaneously. Soldiers shifted positions, drones countered interference, and engineers recalibrated energy shields in seconds. Humans were no longer reacting. They were dictating the flow of battle. Marcus moved among them, offering advice and encouragement. Keep predicting, keep adjusting. Don't let them control the fight. They are powerful, yes, but we are cleverer when we work together. Every strategy was executed with remarkable precision. Even small teams made critical contributions that impacted the battle on a large scale. A single drone, piloted by human ingenuity, disrupted an alien targeting network, allowing a squad of engineers to disable the ship's energy cores. Another group rerouted power through reflective surfaces to scatter beams and create confusion. The aliens, despite their superior technology, were overwhelmed, not by force, but by human unpredictability and innovation. Marcus watched as they began to retreat, their calculations failing against a species they had dismissed as primitive. The Lyra's glow was radiant, almost reverent. Marcus, you have made them see what humans can achieve. They will not forget this day. Your species has reshaped the perception of strength in the galaxy. Marcus nodded, feeling both relief and determination. This isn't the end. They may return stronger. But humans, we learn, we adapt. That's why we survive. The alien fleet withdrew beyond the horizon, damaged and confused, while humans continued to fortify their positions. Engineers repaired systems, soldiers remained alert, and scientists analyzed the battle, preparing for potential future attacks. Marcus knew the aliens would not give up easily. They had witnessed a species that could anticipate, adapt, and endure. The Lyra hovered close. You have not only defended your species, Marcus, you have taught me something about humanity. Your choices are reshaping the galaxy's understanding of mortals. am honored to witness this. Marcus looked at her, tired but resolute. We're not invincible. We're not perfect. But we can endure, and we can adapt. That's enough to give us a chance. That's enough to show the universe that humans can survive and thrive. Night fell, and the desert sands glimmered under the stars. The humans gathered, exhausted but unbroken. They celebrated quietly, not for victory in the traditional sense, but for survival, for cooperation, and for the proof that their ingenuity and resilience could overcome even overwhelming odds. Marcus stood atop the ridge again, looking at the sky. The alien fleet had retreated for now, but the threat remained. The final wish was still his to choose. It would not be for himself, nor for personal gain. It had to be something that could secure humanity's future, that could protect them from forces beyond their comprehension. The Lyra's presence beside him was steady and bright.
You have done well. Humanity has demonstrated qualities I never expected.
But the third wish? It will define your species' destiny. Think carefully, Marcus. The universe is watching. Marcus nodded, considering the weight of the choice. He thought of Earth, of the colonies, of humans, across the stars struggling to survive. He thought of the alien fleet, formidable and relentless, and of countless civilizations that had been destroyed because they lacked ingenuity, cooperation, or resilience. The first two wishes had given humans understanding and resilience. Now, the final wish had to ensure that they could face the future without fear, without destruction, and without losing what made them human. A young engineer approached Marcus quietly, handing him a data pad. Sir, the analysis of the battle shows that our strategies are holding, but the aliens may adapt if they return. We need something more permanent, something that ensures we can survive their next attempt. Marcus studied the data, nodding. Exactly. That's why the final wish matters. It has to protect humanity from the unknown, from threats we cannot yet imagine, without compromising who we are. We can't rely on weapons or invincibility. We rely on mind, spirit, and ingenuity. Thalira's glow brightened, almost like a smile. You truly understand your species. I thought I knew, but now I see that humans are capable of greatness in ways even I did not anticipate. The final wish. It must be worthy of what you have already given them. Marcus took a deep breath, looking at the stars above. The alien fleet would return, perhaps stronger and smarter, but humans had already proven something extraordinary. They could adapt faster, think faster, and endure longer than the galaxy had expected. He could almost hear the rhythm of human ingenuity pulsing through every mind, every heart, every action. They'll come back, Marcus said softly, almost to himself. And when they do, humans will be ready. Not because of weapons, not because of technology, but because we can think, learn, and survive. That's our strength. Thalira nodded. And it is extraordinary. You have humbled me, Marcus. You have reshaped my understanding of mortals. The final wish, it will define how far humanity can reach. Marcus smiled faintly, his mind already working through possibilities. The aliens had been a challenge, but they had also been a proof that humans could survive, adapt, and even flourish against overwhelming odds. The first two wishes had shown him the potential. The final wish would ensure that potential could never be squandered. The desert was quiet now, save for the distant hum of alien engines fading into the night sky. Humans rested, recuperated, and remained vigilant. Marcus felt a surge of hope. The first two wishes had been a success, but the third, the final, would determine the true legacy of his choices. And somewhere in the universe, the alien goddess Thalira floated silently, observing the mortal who had stunned her not once, but twice, and whose next choice would shape the fate of humanity for centuries to come. The night sky over Arvesa 9 shimmered with distant stars, but Marcus's gaze was fixed on the horizon. The alien fleet had retreated, battered and confused, yet Marcus knew they would return. His first two wishes had given humanity understanding and resilience, but the universe remained vast and unpredictable. The final wish, the third, would define the destiny of his species. Thalira floated beside him, her radiant form pulsing softly. "You have already changed the course of humanity, Marcus," she said. "You have granted understanding and resilience. You have allowed your kind to survive and adapt against forces far superior to them. But now, the last wish will shape how far they can reach. Are you ready?" Marcus nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. "I am. I've thought about it, and I know what humanity needs most." Thalira tilted her head, curious. "And what is that?" He looked at the humans below, repairing systems, strategizing, and working together with precision and purpose. He thought of Earth, of distant colonies, of generations of humans struggling to survive against nature, against each other, and against unknown threats. He thought of their potential, creative, resourceful, and resilient, and he realized that the final wish could not grant invincibility or unlimited power. Humanity's strength had always been in its spirit, in its ingenuity, in its capacity to learn and adapt. "I wish," Marcus said slowly, "that humans and all species who encounter us in the future can find common ground, can communicate, cooperate, and resolve conflicts peacefully whenever possible, not because we are stronger or smarter than them, but because understanding and collaboration can prevent unnecessary destruction." Thalira's eyes widened in shock, and she paused, her glow flickering. "You wish not for yourself, not for power, not for control, but for unity and cooperation. You wish to shape the future of interactions across species." Marcus nodded. "Yes, I want humans to survive, yes, but more importantly, I want them to thrive without unnecessary violence. I want the universe to see what we are capable of, not as conquerors, but as creators, thinkers, and collaborators." For a long moment, Thalira was silent. Then, slowly, she spoke, her voice filled with awe. This is extraordinary. Never have I seen a mortal choose such a path. Your wisdom surpasses that of many rulers I have observed. Your first wish stunned me. Your second impressed me. This. Your third. It elevates your species to a level I did not anticipate. The artifact pulsed with immense energy, brighter than ever before. Across the galaxy, the wish rippled, subtle, yet undeniable. Humans felt it first, an innate understanding of empathy, cooperation, and communication that went beyond language or culture. Then, the effects spread, touching alien species who had the opportunity to encounter humanity. Understanding blossomed, misunderstandings were minimized, and opportunities for peaceful cooperation arose naturally. Marcus felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He had not sought glory or dominance. He had sought a chance for humans to realize their potential while remaining true to the qualities that made them extraordinary. Thalira's glow was brighter than ever, almost joyous. You have changed not only your species, Marcus, but the galaxy itself. You have created a foundation for a new era, one where conflict is not inevitable, where cooperation is possible. Your wisdom has humbled me as it has never before. But the universe did not pause for celebration. Even as Marcus and Thalira observed the effects of the wish, distant signals arrived. Ships, transmissions, and alerts from other civilizations, curious and cautious. Some approached peacefully, seeking to understand. Others approached with skepticism, uncertain how to interpret this sudden shift in human nature. Marcus smiled faintly. They'll test us. They'll challenge us. But now, humans have the tools to respond wisely, not recklessly. We can face the galaxy without fear because we understand ourselves. And now, others understand us as well. Thalira's expression softened. You have done something far greater than any mortal could have imagined. You have shown that true power lies not in force, but in understanding. You have taught me that mortality does not preclude greatness. I am honored to witness this. The humans below continued to work, repairing systems, strengthening defenses, and coordinating strategies. Their minds were sharper, their spirits stronger, and their unity unshakable. Marcus felt a wave of pride, not for himself, but for the species he had helped elevate. In the following days, humans began to establish formal communication channels with neighboring alien species, some of which had previously considered humans primitive. The effects of Marcus's third wish facilitated these interactions, allowing understanding to flourish quickly. Trade agreements, scientific collaborations, and cultural exchanges began to form. Where misunderstandings might have led to conflict, dialogue prevailed. The alien fleet that had attacked Arvesa. 9 watched from a distance, still formidable, but cautious. They observed humanity not as a weak species to be conquered, but as one capable of adaptation, cleverness, and diplomacy. Marcus had achieved something remarkable. Humans were no longer merely survivors. They were respected participants in the cosmic arena. Thalira accompanied Marcus as he surveyed the galaxy through advanced observation arrays. They approach cautiously, she said, but they will learn. Your species has demonstrated qualities that demand respect, not fear. Your choices have reshaped the perception of humans, and I am proud to have witnessed it. Marcus nodded. I didn't do it for praise. I did it because humans can be better. We can survive, yes, but we can also choose to thrive in ways that honor what makes us human. Our creativity, our compassion, our resilience. Thalira's eyes glimmered with light. And now, Marcus, you have created a legacy. One that will be remembered across stars, not for conquest or violence, but for wisdom and vision. You have elevated your species in a way no god or alien could have done alone. The humans celebrated quietly, understanding that the true victory was not in defeating the alien fleet, but in surviving with integrity and emerging stronger together. The colonies across the galaxy began to share knowledge instantly, creating a network of collaboration unparalleled in history. Marcus looked up at the stars and felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Humanity had been given gifts, understanding, resilience, and now unity across species, but it was their own ingenuity and spirit that would carry them forward. Thalira spoke softly beside him. You have humbled me, Marcus. I have witnessed mortals reach heights I did not expect. You have shown that greatness is not measured by destruction or domination, but by vision, courage, and wisdom. You have taught me more about humanity than I could have imagined. Marcus smiled. We've always had potential. Maybe it just needed a little guidance, a little opportunity to shine. That's all I've done. Given a chance for humans to show what we can do. In the weeks that followed, humans expanded their colonies, using creativity and collaboration to terraform planets, explore distant systems, and establish peaceful relations with alien species. Conflicts still arose, but Marcus's third wish ensured that humans could approach these situations with diplomacy, understanding, and clever strategy. Misunderstandings were minimized, and wars that might have erupted were avoided or resolved quickly. Thalira continued to observe, fascinated by the progress. Humans are evolving, not just physically, but morally, intellectually, and socially. The choices of one mortal have influenced countless lives across the galaxy. Your vision is inspiring. Marcus looked at her, humbled. It's not just me. It's all of us. Humans working together, sharing knowledge, solving problems. That's what makes us strong. That's what makes us human. Across the galaxy, word of humanity spread. Aliens who had once seen humans as weak or primitive now approached with curiosity and respect. Some came seeking alliances, others for knowledge, but all recognized that humans were capable of ingenuity, resilience, and cooperation beyond expectation. Marcus felt a quiet satisfaction. The first wish had created understanding, the second resilience, and the third had ensured unity and peaceful collaboration. Humanity's potential was no longer limited by fear, misunderstanding, or conflict. They were free to explore, innovate, and grow. Thalira floated beside him, her form glowing brighter than ever. Marcus, you have achieved something extraordinary. You have taught me that mortals can surpass even the expectations of gods. Your species will not only survive, they will flourish. And it is because of your vision, wisdom, and courage. Marcus smiled faintly. I didn't do it for praise, Thalira. I did it because I believe in humanity. We've always had the potential. Now the universe has the chance to see it too. And so, humanity entered a new era. Across stars and planets, humans worked together with aliens and among themselves, building a future of creativity, resilience, and cooperation. Conflicts were no longer inevitable, knowledge flowed freely, and the mistakes of the past began to fade. Marcus stood on the ridge of Arvesa, 9, one last time, looking at the horizon. The alien fleet was gone. Not defeated, but wary. They had seen the power of understanding, resilience, and collaboration, the qualities that Marcus had granted and nurtured through his wishes. The galaxy itself had been reshaped, not through conquest or fear, but through the careful, thoughtful choices of one human. Thalira floated silently beside him, a goddess humbled and inspired. You have done something beyond measure, Marcus. You have given your species a future, and in doing so, you have reminded me that true power is not in dominion, but in wisdom, courage, and compassion. Humans are remarkable. Marcus smiled, feeling the quiet warmth of accomplishment. We've always had the spark, Thalira. Now, we just get to show the universe what it can do. And under the light of distant stars, the galaxy watched as humanity rose, not as conquerors, not as invaders, but as thinkers, collaborators, and survivors. The first wish had stunned a goddess, the second had impressed her, and the third had reshaped the cosmos itself. Marcus knew that the legacy of his choices would echo across the stars for centuries to come, a testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and spirit of humanity. For the first time, humans were not just part of the universe. They were ready to thrive within it, guided by understanding, strengthened by resilience, and united through wisdom. And in that moment, Marcus smiled, knowing that the future was not just bright, it was limitless. Alien goddess grants human 3 wishes, but his first wish stuns her completely.